Hi everyone, my name's Lee. Now you may know me because I had the great pleasure to be a co-host with Mike back a few months ago now. Now I already did a video for Mike for natural navigation and I just went on and on and on. So this is my second attempt and I think I'm going to break it down into 3 parts because there's 3 bits to natural navigation. So this first bit is going to be using nature around you, what's around, how do you find out as accurately as possible the points of the compass. If you need to know as accurately as possible, there's only one thing you can do, and that's look at the skies. In the day and the night time, the skies can be your guide. They can show you which way is north and south. And the first little trick I'm going to show you is how to find south using a watch. If you've got an analog watch, or if you pull a clock off the wall to do the same job, that's got an hour and a minute hand, you can take that watch and you can point the hour hand at the sky. And I've done a little bit of a diagram there and I'm very aware this video's reversed now that I'm holding it up, but hopefully you can make sense that you've got 12 o'clock at the top, and if I hold my watch up and point at the hour, point the hour hand at the sun, then halfway between the 12 o'clock, the top of the watch and the hour hand, a line halfway will point roughly south. I really like that. I think it's quite a simple one, although unfortunately not many of us have a watch anymore like that, but I suppose even on a mobile phone you can probably do a watch display, but if you've got a mobile phone you've got a compass anyway. So that's one way to find south. Now if you ask most people which direction does the sun rise, those that know will say it rises in the east and it sets in the west, and that's broadly right, but it's only actually accurate for 2 days of the year. On March the 21st and on September the 22nd, the 2 equinox days, the spring and the autumn vernal equinox, that's the only time where the sun rises precisely in the east and sets precisely in the west. Every other time it's away from that, and in fact on the shortest day, so around about December the 21st, the sun will rise almost to the southeast. It goes that far out and it will set southwest, and then at the summer solstice, June the 21st, longest day, it actually almost rises all the way over in the northeast and sets in the northwest. Now I was trying to think of a little way I could show you why this is, and what I've got is I've ransacked my kids' Lego collection and I've got Gamora to help me show why. So if I'm just going to point the camera down at this piece of paper in front of me for a little bit. Now what we'd do is if we do, if we say that that is east and that is west, then what we have is if we can put this over the top of Gamora and say that's the sky, then I can start drawing with this pen the path of the sun. Now what we've said is the sun doesn't quite go directly overhead, does it? So there's a path somewhat like that. Now in the winter, what we know is the sun doesn't set as high, it doesn't rise as high in the sky. So what we actually get is, this is why we get it nearly northeast. So if you can imagine that it rises lower, doesn't get as high in the sky and goes over like that. So you've got over here, it is much closer to, if we say Gamora's facing south, but then in the summer the sun passes spends much more time in the sky and goes much higher overhead. So my arm's in the way, but you can see to get higher in the sky it has to go round further and you end up over here and over here. You can see where it's, hopefully you've got a rough idea of why the sun moves around the sky like that. So at night, I'm pretty sure that most people watching this will have some understanding, some pretty good guesses about how you can find direction at night, and it would involve the pole star, the North Star. All I'm going to show you is there's a nice little other method. So if you imagine you've got your pole star in the middle of this piece of paper, most of you will know that you can follow back to 2 stars called the pointer stars, and they're part of a constellation, the Plough, something like that. Now I suspect that's probably, most of you know that. What I like to teach people as a second check that you've got the right set of stars in the sky, if you follow that line through And this works all year round, this part of the world. You end up with it pointing at a great big W in the sky. Cassiopeia. It's not just natural navigation, this is it. I've given you a lesson in astronomy as well. So you end up, you've got your, everyone, or a lot of you will know the pointer stars point at the pole star. But like I said, if you follow that line through, you hit Cassiopeia. It's a lovely little check because Cassiopeia is a really, really easy constellation to recognise and hard to mistake. So if you can find that, then you know you're pretty much in the right place. And another quick one, you can use the moon to find south. Now the moon can sometimes be a crescent in the sky, and it can sometimes be have a crescent left over, so it's something like that shape, and it can be new and full. Now if it's anything like other than new and full, and this is a lovely little trick and not a lot of people know this one, you can take a line through the ends and that will point to south, and you can do it on a not quite full moon as well, and again it will point to south. Nice little trick. Not a lot of people know that one. So thanks everyone for listening to that.